Hello everyone and welcome to the very last GCSE Geography Help video. So, let's have a look at all the stuff we've covered over these last 12 videos. So you've got abrasion, hydraulic action, attrition, solution, solution again, suspension, siltation, traction, the source, tributaries, confluences, the mouth, estuaries, free courses, waterfalls, rapids, oxbow lakes, meanders, levees, flat floodplains, storm hydrograph, hard and soft engineering. It's a lot of them, isn't it? So, this week we're going to have a look back over all these lovely topics we've studied. And yeah, feel free to pause the video and test yourself, see how much you actually know. Okay then. So, erosion, our first subtopic. So we've got hydraulic action, which is the power of the water breaking down the beds and the banks of the rivers. Next we've got our abrasion, which is when pebbles and bits of rock in the water wear away at the beds and the banks. Attrition is when the rocks and pebbles in the river crash into each other, wearing each other down like sandpaper. And last but not least, solution erosion, which is when acids dissolve in the water and they make the water acidic, which erodes the beds and the banks of the rivers. So, it's erosion done. See how many got right for that. So, transportation, second subtopic. So yeah, solution is when small fine materials dissolve in the water and are carried down by the river. Suspension is when fine light material is carried along in the river, but bigger than in solution. Siltation is when small stones and pebbles are bounced along the river. And then traction, which is when large rocks and boulders are rolled along the riverbed. And if you remember, when we did the transportation subtopic, we had the energy bars. So if you want to remember what way round they went, go back to the videos with the transportation in, I think it's 3 and 4, and look at the energy levels. It might help you remember them. So, next one, which is features of the river. So the first one is the source. And the source of the river is where the river starts. It can be a marsh, a spring, a lake, or a glacier. So, and then tributaries, which are the small rivers that feed into the main river. If you remember correctly, there's a rather funny one we looked at in one of the previous videos. Confluences, this is the point where the tributary and the main river channel meet. Normally a lot of flooding here, so it's normally quite a problem. The mouth of the river is where the river and the sea or ocean or lake meet. And estuaries is the area where the river enters the sea and the tide can enter, so there's a mixing of normal water from the river and salt water from the sea. So, landforms was the next subtopic we studied, and they were split into 3 parts, which are the 3 courses, which is upper, middle and lower. Quite self-explanatory, that one. So in the upper course we had waterfalls, which are formed on 2 horizontal layers of hard and soft rock, and the water goes backwards as it gets eroded and eroded. So you've got rapids, which are formed on vertical layers of hard and soft rock, a bit like mini waterfalls. Oxbow Lake is the next one, which is middle course. It's a curved lake that used to be a meander, and the meanders, which are the bends or the curvy bits in the river. And then down to the lower course, where we have the levees, which is a French word. It's the natural flood protection barriers formed in floods, and they are on the floodplain, which are the flat areas around the river, which are often flooded, hence their name, floodplains. As an example, if you're a Londoner, Thamesmead, it's near Abbey Wood, Woolwich sort of way. That used to be a big marsh, and then well, so a floodplain, it would always used to flood, and then they put the Thames barrier in, and now it doesn't flood as much, at least. So yeah, if you're interested in floodplains and levees and things, it's a good area to look up, sort of like case study, which you can use in your exam. So, next one, flooding. So we had the storm hydrograph, which is a graph that practically shows everything about flooding, the rainfall and the amount of water in the river and the lag time and all of that stuff. It's quite complicated, so if you go back to video number 11, which we were looking at the storm hydrograph, we then got first type of engineering, which is hard engineering, which is to change the river using man-made technology. I'm sure you can find a funny way of remembering that. And normally the funny ways are easier to remember than the boring ways, so yeah. Soft engineering, which is the eco-friendly sort of one, which is the cheap one, which is a form of flood protection that works with the environment, which is, remember, from last week, was that with the afforestation, which is the opposite of deforestation. They plant trees on the edge of the rivers and things. Okay, so this is the end of the rivers topic. If you want to get in touch, I'm going to put my Twitter account and email in the description. If you want another series, maybe later, on a different topic, or if you want me to carry on with something, or something you liked, something you want me to improve, whatever, get in touch, or just get in touch and say hi. So, bye bye for the last time. Well, at least for the rivers topic.